Round two. All right, so I'm headed up to Michigan, and on the way, I decided to stop in Indiana. Stopped at Young's Creek Horse Camp in Hoosier National Forest, and a bit taller toilet. They were actually pretty nice, not gonna lie. Pulled up late, took a little time to try to find a parking spot, but thankfully some people there helped me out. And when I woke up, it was gorgeous there. Highly would recommend staying here. Wish I could have stayed another night, but I had to keep moving. So I head over to Bloomington, went over to Hopscotch Coffee, and it did not disappoint. Took my coffee, had some breakfast, and went over to the Fairfax recreational area where I sat in front of the lake and worked very peacefully. It was great. Afterwards, I needed more coffee very badly. So I went to Crumble Coffee and Bakery, which I had heard great things about. Super amazing staff there. They literally gave me a map of the city to help me find this place, Runcible Spoon, where I had an amazing omelet. Afterwards, I went to Blackwell Horse Camp, which was the northern part of Hoosier National Forest, and this place was gorgeous. Only a couple of cars there, plenty of space, beautiful, would highly recommend. Went and grabbed some breakfast and kept heading north to go see family in Kokomo and Warren, Indiana, as well as Elkhart. On the way, stopped by Just Love because got to. After the Indiana trip, I headed on up to Michigan, where I went through Grand Haven, stopped there for a quick bit at Jumpin' Java, and then kept going up to go see the Nordhouse Dunes Wilderness area. This place is gorgeous. Free parking in a lot of different spots. I actually ended up doing the paid parking just because I wanted to be walking distance from the dunes. The free parking was a little further out, and I didn't feel like having to drive over there and back, and pay for parking. I got there anyways. On the way to the dunes, great trails, and then I pulled up and it was gorgeous. Would 1,000% recommend this. I made it just in time for the sunset too, which I was so excited for. Pulled out a book, sat there, read, and watched this. The video doesn't really do that great of justice, but it was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen so far. Would highly recommend going here. Not a lot of people as well, which is kind of nice. There's a few people though. The next morning, I woke up actually pretty early and decided to walk on over to the dunes one more time. Jumped into the water, took a little bath, which was nice. And then from there, decided to head into the city for a bit as well. Here's a quick shot of my van as well. Again, great parking. It was like $20 maybe or something. They had a cool envelope system too with the parking there. Head over to Ludington, went to the brew company, which was very good. Had some macaroni there. Couldn't beat it. Went over to their waterfront park. Saw a cute little otter, which we became quick friends. Followed him around for quite a bit, but finally stopped harassing him because it started raining a little bit, and I was like, give him a little space. Actually ended up going back to the dunes that night to go see the sunset, but because of the storm rolling in, there's these nasty little black flies that just ate me up. Looked them up later. If you get a chance to look them up, check them out. They are disgusting. That night, stayed at a Cracker Barrel parking lot because these are free at Walmart's. You gotta love a good Cracker Barrel anyways. Then headed in the morning, instead of going to Cracker Barrel, I know. I went to Anna's house, which, you can see right there. So good. For work this week, because I still had to work Monday through Friday, I went to Madcap and worked there. And then that night, took this gorgeous drive to a friend's house where I stayed in their backyard and had this view in a peaceful setting all night long. You could see the stars. It was gorgeous. I loved every moment of that. That next morning, I went to this place called Real Food Cafe. Now, if you've never been to Grand Rapids, but you're going to go here for breakfast. 1,000%. I actually went twice just because it was so good. That night I stayed at actually a hotel, so I had to get a little crazy. And then went over to Founders Brewing. Such good beer. Very dense, so if you aren't in that kind of stuff, it might not be for you. It's so good. And then went to Holland for breakfast, you just saw. And then headed to this place called Lavender Life Company. This place was the best stay I've ever had in the van yet. And I'll show you why in a second. First, rescue a turtle, because you got to. And that's a pond right there. I promise there's a bunch of clean water right past all that. And he loved it. This is the farm. And it smelled good. It was so peaceful. The couple was just in their house all night. I sat out here, wrote music, made content, played cover songs, just enjoy the sunset too as well, and just the peace and serenity. I wish I could stay here multiple nights, and I definitely will try to at some point go back here and stay again. Here's a quick time lapse of the sunset as well. Again, it doesn't do it justice, unfortunately, but hopefully this gives you just kind of a little feel for just the peacefulness, the serenity, just the ability to like unplug and get away from life for a while. Especially with playing these time lapses, I did them on my phone, so I didn't have a chance to be on my phone, which is even better. This place was gorgeous. I literally sat right there to watch the sunset. Over there, had dinner there. And then... So that next night, I went to Robinette's Apple House and Winery. House. This place was insane. It's incredible as well. The orchards were amazing. The people were amazing. All the people were amazing on this trip, actually. And I just literally explored the apple orchards for a few hours during sunset. Again, took some content, talked to family for a while, but also just explored and just loved just being out in nature, being out in some place I'd never been to, just trying to take it in every experience
so
that I possibly
beautiful
could.
out here, like top 2 for sure places I've ever stayed at. Here, check it out.
This sunset was so beautiful here as well. I also got apple pie from them, 2 apple pies actually. So this is where I worked literally all week. I would come in here every day and make friends with all the baristas. They were such amazing people, and I wish I could keep working here because they were so sweet. They would give me free drinks. It's just great Starbucks. I know people have love-hate with Starbucks. I love them. That night I stayed in a parking lot near Detroit at the Town Peddler because I picked up my dad next morning from the Detroit airport, and we went to the greatest stadium in the world, in my humble opinion, and watched the greatest college football team in the world, in my humble opinion. And it was just an amazing way to finish out the trip.